Hello, I'm Randy Sutton, a retired police lieutenant, author of A Cop's Life, and the National Spokesman for Blue Lives Matter. This year has been deadly for our police. 100% more law enforcement officers have been murdered so far this year than last. Now, the risk of death has faced police since the first lawman pinned on a badge. But the threat has morphed into something far more malevolent than criminal versus cop, something that I prayed I would never see in our nation. Race-based, targeted murders of the police. The human toll has been devastating, with police families left in smoldering ruins of loneliness and loss. We are becoming a nation more and more divided along racial lines, turning neighbor against neighbor, friend against friend. And if we are to survive as one great country, one nation under God, then we must put a stop to it, you and I, and every person that believes that in the United States of America, all lives matter. We cannot leave it up to politicians. We cannot leave it up to the civic leaders. We cannot leave it up to community activists, because it is they whose own personal and political agendas are fueling the fires of hatred with lies of institutional police racism. The American people are getting played. I couldn't have invented a better example than what is taking place in Philadelphia at the Democratic National Convention. Now, I've never had much respect for Hillary Clinton, but she has outdone herself this time, as she has chosen to exploit and capitalize on the pain and loss of families whose children were killed during police confrontations. Now, how desperate do you have to be to manipulate another person's tragedy for your own political gain while you sow more and more seeds of hatred and distrust of the nation's law enforcement community? Hillary Clinton, I'll come out and say what American cops all over this country are thinking. You are a despicable human being. You don't want our nation healed. You want to continue the division that began under President Obama, the results of which we are witnessing with more and more flag-draped coffins being lowered into the ground as the mournful sound of taps rips into the hearts of those left behind, whose only crime was to be a cop. It's time for this madness to come to an end. It's time for all of us to open our hearts and open our minds and respect each other, despite differing opinions and viewpoints, and not allow ourselves to be manipulated by pandering politicians, agenda-driven individuals, and those in the media who never would think of letting the truth get in the way of a good story or great ratings. To the American people, I say this: perfect policing only exists in the land of unicorns and rainbows. The men and women who serve are simply people just like you, who are capable of great courage, compassion, integrity, and honor, but who also have the same human flaws as well: poor judgment, fear, anger, and every other emotion and trait that goes along with being human. The vast majority of those wearing the badge do so out of a sense of being part of something greater than themselves and believe in their roles as the protectors of their communities with all their heart. After serving behind a badge for more than 3 decades, this I know: that blue lives always have and always will believe that all lives matter. I'm Randy Sutton. Thank you.